What's going on, YouTube? I am back with something I've wanted to do for a bit, but really just haven't gotten the chance until recently. So I went around and I actually, picked up some local flour from I wouldn't call it a gas station, convenience store. It really is like a 50-50 head shop slash convenience store. Kind of an interesting place, but they had actually a interesting selection compared to even some head shops, interestingly enough. And I went ahead and I picked up some of this Eminence. Yeah, Eminence, some Hawaiian Gelato. And it's interesting. I've already tried it some, but I'm gonna go through and actually test. I'm gonna smoke it first out of a pipe. I'm gonna smoke it out of a bong, and then I'm going to vape it. See how it goes through each different type of smoking experience. So this is how it looks. Not really too much of a looker. The smell is really where it's at. It looks like some mids, really. But it came with a Bovita pack, so it kept at least like the terpenes. Like that's like the smell comes through. It smells like hops, like just throwing your face in just a handful of hops, and that's kind of what was interesting to me. So it actually on the feel, it's pretty soft, squishy. It's got some density to it. Trying to squeeze it. See, it's got that bounce. It's got that little bit of something to it. But yeah, no, so far it pretty much, the terpenes is like I'm smoking a beer, as it were. And I actually like it. But let's see how this pipe is. I actually chilled it down. This is one of those freezer pipes. It's actually my wife's. But yeah, this freezer pipe got nice and cool for a nice smooth hit. Let's see how it goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Pretty much. I mean, there is definitely a little bit of that, the smoke flavor is always going to be there, but when you're actually smoking it. But that hop flavor still comes through, and that's something good to say about some mids there. When flavor's actually still coming through when you're smoking it versus I'm gonna see how it vapes. I don't know, it might be interesting. It might come off differently. I've had strains that just tasted completely different when you've smoked it versus vaped it. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, this is like In fact, one thing I've noticed from when I smoked it is I went ahead and grabbed myself a beer, and let me tell you, it amps the beer flavor up like crazy. I've never had weed quite like this that really honed in on the hop flavor, but damn does it make beer taste good. Oh my God. It just... It just like turns the hop flavor up, but none of the bitterness. Like just zero bitterness coming through. It's all that delicious hop flavor. It's the flavor that got me into beer in the first place. Is that just that hop? Something about it is kind of flavor of hops. It's like this kind of herbal, like, oh, there's something to it. But it turns something like this that's more or less what I would call bread water. But it's, this has got, it's got some flavor to it. It's probably out of the light beers, it's got some of the most flavor. And I think that definitely helps in the situation, but it really amplifies that flavor so well. Another thing, I just kept drinking it. It's just, I've never had weed like that. It's blowing my mind. I need to find weed like this more. Like, I might go back to the shop and pick up another quarter just so I can just have this on tap for when I have my beer. Specifically. I mean, after a few hits, the smoke flavor still like kind of overwhelms the terpenes, where it's kind of, you know, you're getting more smoke flavor. But you know, it's definitely not one of those where like there's enough terpenes that holds up throughout the entire bowl when you're smoking it, but it still comes through. Oh yeah. Yeah, still comes through just fine. And I kind of like a smoky flavor. I don't know some people, but actually, I switched to vaping for a long time because I wanted the most pure flavor terpenes and whatnot. But something about that smoke flavor, it hits a nostalgia brain side of my brain. That's just like, sometimes, you know? It's like, I don't even get higher. I tend to get way higher when I'm vaping because it's just way more efficient than smoking. But it's just something about that flavor sometimes. I get drawn to it. It's good. But now we're going to try a little bong action out of my Hennessy bottle. And, you know, if you're wondering, I made this. Well, I didn't make the Hennessy bottle. I drilled the hole that made the thing, but I was just like, I could make a bong out of that, and I did. And it works wonders. You know, I've made so many liquor pieces. I haven't used this one in a while, but I gotta use every one I make at least once. And I used this for a good while, but I had it stored away, and I saw it when I was gathering the stuff for this video, and I was like, yeah. So here we go. Hawaiian Gelato down with the Hennessy bong. Oh yeah. You get more of the sort of generic weed flavor kind of comes through. The hoppiness doesn't come through nearly as much in the bong. It definitely lasts much better on the pipe. I think this is definitely going to be a pipe smoking strain. It just, when I'm smoking out of the bong, it's way more, like it pretty much just has that very weed herbal taste. I don't really get much of that hoppiness out of it. If you really want to get some flavor, the pipe's going to be better. This is not really a bong smoking strain, shall we say. It's not to that, I guess, that quality to like make it just really shine through. It just tastes pretty much closer to what it looks like mids. But one thing I have not used in a while is actually this vape. So, because I've been getting into carts and stuff so much, I busted this sucker up open, got it all heated up, and give that a try. I haven't tried it yet in the vape, and I'm assuming the flavor's gonna come through the mouth, so we'll see. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what the hell is going on with why I grabbed this piece out and whatnot. Because my usual piece that I use on here, I can't seem to find it. I either need to buy a new one or just, I'm sure it's staying around here somewhere. Anytime with vaporizers, generally, you're gonna want to grind it up something. You're not gonna want to put a whole nug in. It's just not efficient. You're just gonna toast the outside and not get anything hardly on the inside. Different vapes will do better, with different either coarse or fine grinds, but generally coarse grind is usually the recommendation for vapes. Yourselves a nice little pack bowl. That's all it takes. This tiny little thimble is a whole bowl. That's the equivalent of, and it's smoking a bowl. It's this tiny little thimble. It's so great. Especially if you have some really top shelf stuff. It's gonna just keep chugging and chugging. So nice. But cheers. You know, tastes like I'm smoking a bear. Okay. It's just some wispy stuff. That's kind of what I found with CBD type flower like this is tends to be pretty wispy. I don't know. It's interesting. Sometimes I'm just like, if I eat, like, what's even going on? Like, I don't. But there's some in there. It's like, yeah, this is just like a toasted bowl at this point. But it just kind of keeps slightly going. I don't know. That's kind of the weird thing about I find with CBD weed is that it smokes better than it vapes compared to regular herb, which is like vapes 1,000 times better than it smokes. At least in my view, when you have a proper vaporizer, and it's something else compared to, like, if you really want efficiency, flavor, really vaping, no, it's like bar none. Yeah, as far as the CBD weed, it's just not, it doesn't seem as efficient. Maybe it just doesn't, something, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like torching it too quickly. Maybe I need to lower it down. I'm usually, like I said, I have it at 424. It just doesn't hit quite the same. I don't know. It's like I get a few good puffs and then it's done. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. It tasted really, that first 2 hits tasted pretty dang good, but it didn't last quite like just smoking a bowl. I'm gonna say this is a pipe strain, shall we say? It's out of all these 3, yeah, don't bother with the bong. The vape, I guess if you really want that little thing of flavor, but really, you just need a nice fatty bowl in a pipe. Yeah. This is a pipe strain for sure. If you ever find yourself in some weird gas station or head shop and you find yourself this stuff and you like beer, go ahead and grab some, because it's that's what it's gonna give you. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. As long as you're a pipe smoker, you're gonna enjoy this. Other than that, yeah, I think that does it. It's a solid. I'm pleasantly surprised. I guess I give it an 8 as far as CBD weed. Now that's CBD. This is it's got the Delta 8 in it. It's technically, it is Delta 8 flower, but I mean, it's basically CBD flower with sprinkles of Delta 8 flung on top. So I don't know. In any case, if you do enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, ring that bell. You have a great rest of your day.